Hello, this is Mark, and thanks for stepping in and viewing my video. Today we're going to make some juice using the Omega 8004 single auger, double stage, slow masticating juicer, 80 RPMs. And this machine is, quite frankly, outstanding if you're interested in doing leafy greens. Any kind of greens going through here, and wheatgrass, I've done it all, does really good. So today is a continuation of my series highlighting the benefits of this particular machine and showcasing it for you, doing a variety of different juices. So let's get started. Tonight's juice is something, the recipe is probably, I don't know. Are you juicing collard greens? Because if you're not, give them a go. These things are packed with nutrition. I mean, they're up there on the top of the superfoods, just like kale. They're right up on the top, and they make delicious juice. They're really easy to use, and they're beautiful, aren't they? Look at these things. Now, this evening I'm also going to add some romaine, which I generally do with my green juices. It kind of helps some of the harder greens. It kind of helps smooth them out. This has a very mild taste, and it's filled with nutrition as well. So we've got those two as our leafy green base. And I've already pre-cut, washed, and pre-cut all this stuff. So ready to go. I've got some celery. I've got two cucumbers. I've got a Granny Smith apple. I've got a half a lime. I've got some ginger. And for fun, I've got some of the bean sprouts that I recently grew myself. These are mung bean sprouts. They're amazing for juicing. So let's get going and crank this up and see what we get. First thing I'm going to do is turn the machine on and start pushing in some of these sprouts. If you haven't juiced sprouts, start. You can make these at home. Basically buy some of the organic mung beans. You can get those at your local health food store. And start juicing them. They are very, very nutritious. They're very good. And they're easy to grow. And they're easy to juice. They add a really nice flavor to your juices. So you can see the pulp is starting to come out of the machine now. 80 RPMs. That means the auger in here is rotating 80 times a minute. And what it's doing, it's a cold press juicer. So it's not shaving this juice, it is crushing it, or the produce. It doesn't have a blade, it crushes it. And it goes through a little apple. It goes through basically a two-screen process. The first screen is at the initial crush and takes a bunch of fluid out. When you're using your romaine, fold it in half and roll it. I also do the same thing with the collard greens. Anyhow, this is like I was saying, this is a cold press single auger machine, but it has two stages. The first stage, like I said, grabs the juice at the initial compress, and then the second stage has a second filter, which as the produce is pushed through the auger down to the ejection spout right here for the pulp, there's another stream which goes ahead and captures that juice as well. If you're using celery, okay, leave the leaves on the top. Good for you. Juice them. You can see the pulp that's coming out on this machine is very dry. And really doesn't make a lot of noise either. You can have people sleeping in the other part of the house. You're not going to hear this. I've had this juicer for about 3 years, and I've used it extensively. I've made every type of juice in here you can imagine. My experience is it's outstanding. So I've gotten into juicing, I like to try to maximize my nutrition. I'm not really doing this so much for the taste. I'm doing this as an easy method for me to get these fruits and vegetables in my system that I otherwise wouldn't be eating. I'm not a salad bar guy. It's not going to happen. Generally, I'm not going to be eating romaine lettuce. It's just not going to happen. And collard greens, well, I don't think so. You're not going to find me down ordering a collard green salad or cooking them on the cooktop. It's not going to happen. A little ginger, always good to add. Always good to add. So what I find is I can juice this stuff, extract all of the structured water out of the juice, and which is going to be packed with all the cellular nutrition that you need. And then I'm going to drink that. And it's going to go right into my system. My digestive tract is going to be like a holiday for that thing. I'm sending it food and it's like, nah, just keep it going. We don't have to do anything with this stuff. Send it on down the lane. And that's the beautiful thing about juicing, is it really gives your system a break. It produces food that you can ingest that is immediately digestible by the cells in your system. You know, what other foods are you eating, grinding up with your teeth, that are going to go right into your bloodstream? Well, there's a few in a liquid form, but we won't talk about that. They don't have quite the nutrition that this does. But, here we go. So I'm about 3/4 of the way done with food set. I'm at the point where I'm lifting this because, as you can see, this juice is coming through. I'm going to turn this off, put it through the strainer. Going to put my pulp away real quick. So how much time are we spending on this? Not very much time. You know, people are saying, oh, I don't juice, it takes too long, it's too complicated. You know, the cleanup is such a hassle. People, that is not the case. This juicer does not produce a lot of foam. Look at that. Just a little bit in that strainer of some sediment from this juice. And it's a high yield juicer. Does an outstanding job on these greens. Just very, very happy with it. Roll up the last few pieces of pollard here. Down they go. So as I push this in, this auger is spinning. And the shape of the auger allows it to bite off little pieces of this produce. The auger is a wedge shape. The thickest part of the wedge is up here. The smallest diameter of the wedge is down here. So it takes this produce and just squeezes it to death. It just squeezes it like you and I can't. pulls all the structured water out of the fruits or vegetables you're putting in, separates it from the pulp, and you get delicious juice that you can drink. So after several years of juicing with this Omega 8004, and the only difference between this and the 8006 is the color. Everything else is the same. This one's about, I don't know, $50 to $100 cheaper last time I looked. So this juicer does an outstanding job on anything you'll throw it. Some of the softer fruits, I don't juice those anyhow, not so good here. Some of the softer vegetables, maybe not so good. But what I buy this thing for and what I juice for are these goodies right here, the leafy greens. And I tell you what, you're going to have a hard time finding a machine that does a better job than this one does. It's what it's made for. So different juicers do different things better than others. This one really does the leafy greens. Alright, so what we put in, we're done. That's the food deck. That's pretty fast. Collard greens, romaine, celery, cucumbers, a half a lime, a Granny Smith apple, a bit of ginger. Am I forgetting something? I don't think so. Maybe. So, if I am, oh well. I am going to take this strainer, wash it off a little bit. It's still hot in this kitchen. It is still really hot in this kitchen. And we're going to take the rest of the juice off this, turn the machine off, put it through the strainer. There is a strainer that actually is attached here. I don't use it because I like this larger strainer better. So that's what I do. Gotta hose these down a little bit. Did I make a big mess, people? Gosh, no. For all of those that are saying, I'm not juicing because, holy smokes, I'm making a mess. The cleanup on this thing is super easy. Comes right off. That's all you got. A couple little pieces come off this thing. You use a brush, and away you go. Cleanup is 2 minutes. 2 minutes at most. So there we go. There's the juice. You're like, Mark, I can hardly wait. Stir that thing around and taste it and tell me what it tastes like. Got a little bit of this. Clean that up. Everybody happy? That's all green. Here we are. There's like no foam in this at all. It is all super juice. And that is how I'm starting my weekend. Where's the glass? There it is. Pour it out. I want you guys to take a look at this. This is beautiful. Look at the color on this. Can you see that? I hope you can see that. The color is amazing. Now I'll take a little test. Ha! I need ice cubes all over my face. I'm cooking. Let's see how it tastes. Pretty good. It does have a bit of a bite from those collards, so if I were to do it again, I'd probably throw in another apple. Oh, but it's clean, it's got a nice texture, and I know that that is loaded with all kinds of good stuff that my body wants. So, that's it. Omega 8004. I'm going to be doing a number of other videos on this juicer. This is a good product. I highly recommend it. So that's it. I'm Mark, 8004's juicer. There's the juice. And have yourself a nice weekend. I'll talk to you soon.